Hello, this is Jacob underscore 114, and today I'm here to review the new season of Invincible. Now, I know this is season 3 of the series on Amazon Prime Invincible. Of course, I haven't reviewed season 1 or 2, but I'm just going to do season 3 since it a project that is come out in the year 2025, so I am happily glad to be reviewing this project on the channel. Now, season 3 picks up where we left off in season 2, and I will say it is such a fantastic start to the season. First off, Mark is strong, and second, Brexplode isn't as nice to Mark, and they're like best friends now in the season, and everything's going good so far. Him and Eve start like building on their relationship. Everything's going good. I am so far liking season 3. The first episode introduces us to some stuff. Of course, we're getting to introduce new characters like Multi-Paul, the brother to Duplicate, and the Fight Twins. No, Dropkick and Fight Master, the new characters, of course, by new cast members, which I'm so glad they're able to get some new characters and not make them center point of the episode, but at least try to fit it in, even though it's only in like the first 20 minutes of the first episode. Also in this episode, thank God they removed Amber from the show. And so far, William in this episode was not annoying as I expected. Because usually I do not like William in the Invincible show. I think he's like an annoying best friend to Mark. But he wasn't really annoying. He was actually quite supportive in this episode. And I kind of liked his character. And of course, I would say a new character since it's finally getting a voice. But Oliver is in this episode. And he's a good supporting character. I like him. Although I don't know what's gonna happen with his character later on, Oliver so far is nice. Him and Debbie have a good relationship, along with the babysitter that's taking care of Oliver. And I like his voice actor. He fits the character pretty well. I don't really imagine anyone else playing him. And I found it funny how he tried to sneak out the house with his first homemade suit, exactly identical to the one that Mark had in episode 1 of season 1 of Invincible. It just really funny to me how those two compare, as they are siblings and the son of Nolan Grayson. Okay, two pointers of this episode. One, Mark was boxing in this episode. He was tearing up so much multi-balls in the first couple of minutes in this episode. He was boxing, bro. If he wanted to kill multi-ball, he would have done it already. And second, how did all the heroes in the world get abducted by the most absurd mediocre villain in the show, Doc Seismic? You really finna let Doc Seismic, the guy that causes earthquakes and only wants to like rule over the Washington Monument, that guy, you let him kidnap all the heroes in the world? That's just so embarrassing. I mean, if he kidnapped Mark and Eve and like all the heroes, then he low key could have won. He low key could have won. Yeah, so far I liked episode 1. They took elements from season 1 and season 2, and I'm glad they're sticking to the story, and I'm liking the story so far. And that ending of episode 1 was so cold, bro. I actually want to see where they go with episode 2, and hopefully it will be so satisfying to see what goes down in season 2. Because I know Invincible and Mark's Cecil Stedman, I know they're about to have some major beef after what Mark was just revealed to, that D.A. Sinclair and Darkwing 2 are both working for Cecil, even though they have killed people. So I think Mark is definitely going to rebel against Cecil and probably stop working for him. That's my prediction, though. But yeah, they're about to have a major fight in episode 2. Also, glad to see Nolan Grayson, aka Omni-Man, and Alan the Alien both in prison. Low-key, I like the little post-credit scene. Like how they're, like, Nolan doesn't want to escape, obviously, but they're going to build up to it. And I know it's going to be so cool whenever him and Alan and Nolan, they're going to both escape from the Viltrumite prison. And hopefully they reunite with Mark Grayson soon. But, yep, that's all I have to say about episode 1. Now time to get into episode 2. Alright, I am back. I just got out of Invincible Season 3, Episode 2. And oh my gosh, what the hell was that? I knew Mark and Cecil were going to have beef, but this beef goes way deeper than that. First off, Cecil's origin story of how he got the scar is badass, bro. I did not know he went through that much pain to get that one little scar in his cheek. And his morals and lesson of working with people that kill people, bro, it just goes so deep into his lore, bro. it's just so fascinating of what episode 2 is, and the whole Civil War effect between Mark and Cecil, bro. It's just so beautiful. I think that's why I enjoy Captain America's Civil War so much, because of how beautiful those stories are, compelling, of these two heroes that were once great allies now trying to rip each other apart, bro. Episode 2 was so good, bro. I really think that episode 3 or 4 won't top it as much. And like again, even though Mark was boxing multi-ball in episode 1, he absolute decimates, and I tell you, decimates these Reanimen in the Guardians of the Globe headquarters. If you watch that entire scene, the Guardians of the Globe headquarters, when he finally locks in, whenever the sound in his head is off, bro, it is so beautifully animated, and it is so gruesome. It might be one of the most gruesome things in the show. Although these people are already dead, it's so gruesome of how quick work Mark makes of these Reanimen. And this is fully locked in Mark. He resolves stuff with Eve. He leaves the Guardians and he stops working for Cecil. He even threatens him and he damages his neck, bro. I think Mark is gonna change so much. I feel like he's gonna change so much that he might stop being good. Of course, he still doesn't want to kill people. He's telling Oliver not to kill people and stuff. Also, another thing, William's character was good this season. His character kind of puts Mark off to a good character arc. I'm telling him to not be like Cecil, don't be like that. Just be invincible. Be the person you were already. The good superhero. 2 more things. 1, Immortal is such a op, bro. Like, literally, he will stand by Cecil every time, bro. Even though Immortal says he's such a great superhero, and he thinks he's probably the best superhero, he's literally working with a guy that's hiring murderers to work for him in the global agency. And Rex is a real one for standing up for his best friend. He literally dipped in the Guardians. Him and a couple others, Rudy, Shrieking Ray, and Monster Girl, and Bulletproof too. They literally dipped for Invincible because Cecil almost killed him. And I know Rudy said that he only left because he wants Mark on his side if he's the strongest superhero, which is pretty smart. That's a pretty good game plan. But I really hope Rudy's not evil, and it'll probably be a good thing on why Mark is on his side. And one more thing, if you watch, like, in this episode, if you watch the entirety from beginning to end of Cecil's backstory, it really sums up his character and how low-key, I don't know where to decide whether he's a good director or just the most evil person ever. Or not evil, just horrible. He's just probably a horrible person of the choices he makes. I low-key feel bad for Donald. I think Donald should get out there as well. He should not be having to deal with Cecil like this. But yeah. One more thing to point out, Cecil's morals and his overall character in this show. Okay, we know he's a bad person. He almost tried to kill Mark. He tried to kill Omni-Man. We know he's a bad director in person. But it's just so complex. That's what makes him probably a top 10 character in the show. And this is what this episode does so well. But yep, that's all I have to say for season 3, episode 2 of Invincible. Now on to episode 3 and finish up this review. Yo, this is the next morning after watching season 3, episode 3 of Invincible season 3, and here are my thoughts. Well, that episode was so crazy. So what happened? Mark and Oliver, they get new suits. Oliver is now Kid Omni-Man, but the name is clearly wrong because of what he did in Chicago. And Invincible finally gets the blue suit. The blue suit, it's kind of a standout because it looks really good on him. It's basically the symbiote suit for Invincible, but instead of it being like a weird alien, it's just him, but probably more locked in and more strong than he was before with the yellow and blue suit. Of course, Titan is back, taking over Machine Head's crime industry, and then he meets with some weird, another crime boss called Taizi Ma, where I think he turns into a dragon. That's what I'm hearing from. And so far, I like that little side plot and how they're trying to connect to that one multi-ball scene in episode 1. I really like that, trying to connect all their stories together. Of course, everything in the episode is going good. Mark and Oliver training again. Oliver gets a new suit. Debbie's happy. Everything's good in this episode. Until one crime, whatever, they're going to the Pentagon again, where they're allegedly attacked in season 2. They go to that same place, and something disastrous strikes. So the Marlowe twins are setting off a nuke. Guardians try to stop, but since the best members left the Guardians, they get washed quickly. But the Guardians try to stop the Marlowe twins, but they fail. So Invincible comes over there to try to stop it, and he ultimately gets failed too until Oliver arrives. Now they set off the nuke once they get a break from Invincible and Oliver, and Invincible says he'll take care of the nuke, and he tells Oliver to go home. You'd think the Marlowe twins are probably stronger than Oliver, since Oliver's just a little kid in the show, and oh, you'd be so wrong. And then in the next moment, Oliver actually decimates the Marlowe twins. And I mean, they're gone from the show. They're actually gone, and they will never come back from the show ever again. That is one highlight I have of the episode. And he only does this because he thinks that his dad, Omni-Man, was right. Whenever Omni-Man was evil and he killed people because he didn't think life was so precious. He didn't think that they would be cared if they died. He takes it from Omni-Man, and that is why he has no problem and no fear of killing people. And it is so heartbreaking, because I know that he was just like his evil father, instead of living up to his good, warm-hearted brother. And another impressive feat, other than Oliver killing the Marlowe twins, Invincible takes on a freaking nuke. That's how strong his durability is. He takes on a freaking nuke, but he gets laid out by punches in every episode. That's pretty impressive to me, not gonna lie, because if he can take a nuke, then he needs to lock in and start taking all those punches that he gets in every episode. And also, one more thing, the big-headed man. How did he survive the finale of season 2? I'm just wondering how. Like, what could possibly save him if he genuinely almost died in season 2? How? But yeah, that's all I have to say for episodes 1 to 3 of season 3 of Invincible. And this was a good start. I liked it so much. I think hopefully the episodes will grow and be better over time. But for now, the show has an 8.5 out of 10. You know, I'm always gonna be excited for a new episode, hoping for new characters, hoping for wrap-up stories, new stories. This show is so good. It is so beautiful, especially with its themes. Its themes is so good. But that's all I have to say about Invincible Season 3 so far. Great start, love what they're doing, and I'll be back to review Episode 4. But this has been Jacob_114, and I will see y'all in the next review on my channel. Goodbye, everybody.